After years of waiting, Dragon Ball After, written and made by Youngjijii and Omada Naoyuki, makes its return with Chapter 9. If you're foggy on the last 8 chapters, here's a video for the full story as it stood before this new one. Without further ado, let's get into Chapter 9, The Malice of Daimao. We open with a helicopter flying above the battlefield as the person inside questions what was going on here. All of a sudden, we see Goku with his hand raised towards the aircraft. He says nothing before blasting it into oblivion. On the ground, we see Piccolo standing guard as the attack had been directed not only towards the human, but the Namekian as well. Goku comments that his last attack appeared to be effective as Piccolo is shown shaking. The Saiyan asks him how he feels about his technique being unveiled bit by bit, to which Piccolo grunts. Thinking to himself, Piccolo notes that Goku's starting to take advantage in this fight as he's starting to catch on. His attacks are now being fired from a greater distance, which is a downside of using this power concentration technique. Piccolo adds on that this technique gathers his entire ki into a unique body part and increases its power in a single spot, but he now has to stop his blows with some of that ki while simultaneously dealing with these blasts of immense proportion. Furthermore, Goku is instinctively understanding all of these aspects and starting to overwhelm him in combat. Saiyans do indeed live up to their expectations. What makes this worse though is the person in front of him. He's not just any Saiyan, he's Son Goku, a combat prodigy. Piccolo stands firm as Goku notices that he's about to do something. He puts his energy concentration technique into effect, putting energy into his fingertips and dashing towards Goku, determined to do some sort of damage. Putting his hand forward, Goku calls it foolish to attack him head on, but he doesn't actually end up charging a blast and is instead met with a swing from Piccolo, which he barely manages to dodge. Piccolo notes that his energy concentration focusing on his fingertips hurt his ability to attack with speed, but Goku does notice that he was cut by Piccolo in that attack. He moves his leg back, swinging it towards Piccolo and landing a kick that pushes the Namekian down. Getting up, Piccolo understands that no matter how much he concentrates his power into his fingertips or any part for that matter, it won't do anything if he doesn't land a hit on Goku. Speaking of, Goku continues to be surprised by Piccolo's ability to last in battle with him this long, and even though he can't really hurt him, he's certainly impressed with this technique. Smiling, Piccolo tells him to go ahead and lower his guard. He's gonna learn quickly not to underestimate the fighters from Earth. Surprisingly though, Goku agrees. He compliments Piccolo and telling him that it's true. He's always had hidden power within himself, and it's not just him. Vegeta was able to combine 2 incompatible techniques together, that being the Super Saiyan and the Kaioken, to create the Super Kaioken, which proved to be effective in battle, even against someone like him. He went on to achieve Super Saiyan 3. Hell, Majin Buu of all people tried to save Vegeta, but it's not like all of these elements of potential and power just now surfaced. It's been this way for a long time. When Vegeta first attacked, he was saved by Krillin, Gohan, and Yajirobe, more so their courage than their power. When he fought Frieza, Krillin and Gohan proved themselves yet again in attacking someone who far outmatched them. Even against Cell, while Gohan had unlocked Super Saiyan 2, he still needed further help from Vegeta to beat him, but nothing compares to the final fight they all had against Majin Buu. In this fight, Hercule, a coward, came forward and called everyone on Earth together. Vegeta took the beating of a lifetime, and Majin Buu fought his evil and much stronger half, all of which allowed him to best Buu in the end. Earthlings, they've always possessed some mysterious force that allowed them to defend this planet for as long as they have. Goku stops talking and starts to power up, forcing Piccolo to guard himself, being pushed back by the energy. Recovering all of his power, Goku stands tall, shocking Piccolo. He smirks, telling the Namekian to show his technique once more. This time, it won't matter. He'll get rid of him for good. King Kai adds on that this battle for Earth just keeps going from bad to worse. There's no way Piccolo can win. He needs something more. Goku's already caught onto the technique, and it won't be long before it loses its ability to one-up him. Once again, King Kai believes that there's no way for them to win. Simply put, sooner or later, it's over. Back on the battlefield, Goku scoffs at the fact that Piccolo was the savior of Earth so many times before, telling him, let's go. Knowing that his technique no longer works on Goku, he knows he has to come up with something else. There has to be something else. He needs to find another way, and he has no time to spare. Kami's knowledge, the memories of the fights he has from his father, the skills of a warrior Namekian, and the potential from his fusions. There just has to be something else. Something he's not thinking of. The smallest bit of advice would be sufficient right now. If there's nothing, he'd be dead at the hands of Son Goku. Piccolo starts to think back to his days when he was pursuing the legacy of Piccolo Daimao, when he was Ma Jr. He needs to find that rage again to compete with Goku. He then asks himself a very valid question. Goku seems to be using every bit of his power, but why hasn't he transformed into Super Saiyan 3 yet? In all, it's probably a good thing. It'll allow him to find something he can use to his advantage. Goku then starts to approach him, asking if he still wishes to fight. Quickly, he throws a kick towards him, but Piccolo flies away before it lands. Flying away, Piccolo recalls when Tenshinhan told him that Gohan was alive, but before he can think more on it, Goku appears behind him, landing a blow to his neck, which causes Piccolo to cough up blood and be sent crashing down into Earth. Goku lands on the ground, approaching a downed Piccolo, who calls him a monster. Not shying from that name, Goku asks him if he should finish this quickly, or does Piccolo still have something left. Flying away once more, Piccolo attempts to use his technique, but Goku just appears behind him, bringing his elbow down onto Piccolo's head. He says it's not over, concentrating his energy to his legs as he stretches them out, but Goku dodges effortlessly. Once more, Goku just appears behind him, and Piccolo flies away, noting that he needs to just keep running away, and fast. Unfortunately for him, Goku stops him dead in his tracks, telling him that he has nothing left to offer him. Piccolo believes that it's over. The power gap is just too great for him to close, but something calls out, replace. We then see a really cool manga panel showcasing Piccolo, Nail, Kami, and King Piccolo standing side by side. Not only do we see these four standing side by side though, we see a conversation ensue between them. Piccolo says that the options given by Kami are useless at this point, but Kami claims that while that might be true, they simply don't have other options. As Piccolo starts to argue with him, Nail interjects and claims that since he's not one and the same as the three of them, he's just going to disappear. King Piccolo chimes in, telling him that he's already told Piccolo everything he can. He trusts his son to do what he couldn't, to kill that piece of trash, Son Goku. He too disappears. Turning around, Piccolo notes that Kami is the only one left, but not having anything to offer himself, Kami asks if he has a plan. It's not like the fusions in him are allowed to have unique personalities. Even if it's just temporary, there's a great risk that what they're currently doing will awaken the Daimao inside of him, but Piccolo doesn't care at this point. If he can't rid himself of the currently useless values of justice and kindness, he has no way of winning this fight. He continues on. Justice without power is useless. If they want to best him, they need the evil and the demon that sleeps within himself to come out. Reluctantly, Kami agrees, saying let's do it. But what exactly is it that they're doing? He adds on that he's only agreeing to this because if nothing is done, then the world will sink into despair. Let's make the best out of the demon within them that they can. When prompted with the question of if he has a plan, Piccolo replies with nothing at all. He doesn't have anything, but what they're about to do will lead to him crushing Son Goku, and that's all he wants to do. Piccolo shouts at him to disappear, and so he does, parting with the words, "I'll leave it all up to you." Reawakening, Piccolo looks ahead at Goku with the Saiyan asking him if it's time to end this. Thinking to himself, Goku realizes that something's changed, and he doesn't have a good feeling about it. Grinning with newfound confidence, Piccolo says that it's been a long time, Son Goku. Taken aback, Goku asks who he's supposed to be, with him saying that he's Piccolo Daimao. We're then taken away from the battlefield with Tien and Chaozu taking care of Goten and Trunks. They've arrived at their location as they walk up to a mysterious figure asking them to quickly help with the treatment of Goten and Trunks, who are both in critical condition. Laying flat on the floor is an unconscious Gohan, and healing him is Dende. Then they shout to them to wait as Gohan isn't fully healed either, but they don't have time as Trunks' neck is broken. He leaves Gohan at once and rushes to heal Trunks, who is fatally wounded, but his Saiyan biology and resilience is keeping him going. Tien tells him that he's going to leave this up to him as being here, he's useless. He's going to go back and help Piccolo. Back at the battle, Goku is shown running away from a series of blasts. Expertly evading them, Goku lands down and starts yet another conversation. He tells Piccolo that he isn't far from death, but no matter how hard he tries, he's not going to stop him from killing Trunks and the others first. He adds on that he no longer has interest in playing around with someone who's simply trying to buy more time. Piccolo smiles, asking him why he doesn't say Goten and the others instead. He thought that Goku had forgotten everything, but it appears that there's still memories in there somewhere, right? Rejecting this claim, Goku says that he's just a Saiyan warrior. He's Kakarot. All of a sudden, he's hit with a blast of memories of him holding a younger version of Goten. Piccolo notices the confusion, but he's shocked when Goku moves in on him. Getting up close, he says once more, he's just a Saiyan warrior. He's Kakarot. At point blank range, Goku attempts to fire a blast with both his hands, but Piccolo evades it. He doesn't let up though, continuously catching up to the Namekian every time he runs away. He shouts that he's not going to let him out of his sight, but smirking, Piccolo asks if he really saw everything. All of a sudden, the ground beneath him explodes as Piccolo falls to his knees. He shouts at the sky, calling for King Kai to answer him as he knows he's watched his fight closely since it started. Responding, Kaio asks him what he's thinking. He then asks King Kai to transmit a message to everyone as the Kai questions him if he really thinks he has a chance of winning. But even Piccolo isn't that foolish. He says there's no way he could win, but if everything goes like he's planned, he can prove his power to Goku with his most powerful attack yet. Goku recovers from the blast completely unfazed, putting his fingers on his head as he uses instant transmission to appear in front of Piccolo. When he arrives at Piccolo's key signature though, he's shocked to learn that he wasn't actually standing there. It was just a personification of his key. As he turns around, he sees another one, and then another one. Much like how Boo did, he starts to feel energy signatures all around the place. We're then sent to a location that hasn't yet been seen in the story. Kame house. Roshi is seen outside, questioning if Shannon has been summoned as the sky is too early to be dark. He also notices a huge evil key but doesn't appear to know who it is. Krillin then comes out of the house telling his master not to worry. Goku's probably already on it. He'll save them. The two then start to laugh, but their laughter is interrupted by King Kai, who catches them up on everything that's been going on. Krillin and 18 start to fly as Master Roshi says he believes in him, and to Goku, he's sorry. Yamcha, Chaozu, and Tien are also all informed of this as we then see Trunks get up. King Kai says that he's given instructions to everyone to go to the designated locations as the Namekian smiles, thanking him for his help. Now it's up to him to make absolutely certain that Goku doesn't sense any of them. Goku is shown destroying all the copies of Piccolo, and one then starts to move, with Goku getting frustrated. With Piccolo spreading these key signatures around and Goku so focused on them, it'll make it much harder for him to sense what's really going on. We then see Vegeta, who feels like he's recovered a portion of his energy as he turns to see Oob. Frustrated with himself and Goku, he knows he can't lose more time. He needs to leave soon, but it's then that a voice calls out to him telling him not to do so. Turns out it's Majin Buu, which causes Vegeta to let out a sigh of relief. He informs him that he's given Vegeta part of his life energy so that he can heal. If he leaves now, there's no chance he can beat Goku. Buu tells him that he owes him for saving Buu and he wanted to simply give back the gratitude he received. He adds on that soon he'll be nothing, so Vegeta has to protect Earth and he trusts him to do so. King Kai then says that everyone is gathered at the given location, with Piccolo laughing in amusement. He says that he's going to show Goku something interesting as it's finally time to strike back. Thank you guys for watching this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.